Usually when I say hi, Ryan Turford, he starts talking.
Hi, Ryan.
Ryan.
Producer
Good
Ryan.
job. Good job being Ryan. Good job. doing a good job. I think I did a different hat. I think a black hat, as my hair is growing back slowly.
Oh, wow. You have like no hair.
We're going black hat today.
San Fran, huh?
I just buy hats to the places I'm at. That was a Blue Jays hat I had on. I was in Toronto. I got an Oakland A's hat somewhere in there because I was in same trip. The Bay Area, just bought all the ball team. Is that it? Oakland and San Francisco Giants. I guess that was it. I feel like there's a third.
Dodgers.
Well,
there's the Dodgers and there's the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim.
Yeah, it's pretty far away, as it turns out.
Yeah.
San Diego's way closer.
We're live. Do you want to
stop it? We're live.
Do you want to start the? Do you want to do the video, or do you just want to chat before we do the video?
It's up to you.
We can do a whole thing where we roll into it, and then you can be like, Donnie, hit that music.
Ooh, I kind of like that too. I mean, I like it.
However you want to do it.
I'm good with anything. That sounds good. I like that idea quite a lot, Donnie. I have to say, we got a babysitter. So I could podcast. This is the first time.
I feel bad that you had to get a babysitter just to podcast.
Don't sweat it. No, it was it's Chelsea's fault. She wants to get vaccinated. She's all about this vaccine.
And I want her to get vaccinated.
So do I.
I appreciate that about her.
I'm jealous, and everybody's talking about all these different the days after and everything. Chelsea is so tough.
My wife is put down.
I'm
rough
I think that
for about 18 hours. So is Rebecca. Several people. It's very hit and miss.
Yeah. So this
I was fine.
My last hurrah.
I had no issues.
I hope that's the case.
This ear infection was way worse than the.
What the heck? Is it like, what does it feel like?
Still ear infection. It feels like half of my face is solid. It's like, so like have you ever had headphones in and you feel like you can't hear?
Yes. Yep.
That's what it feels like out of the side of my face right now.
Right.
But always. Not with headphones, but all the time. Like I felt this way for a week now and it's still going.
I kind of get like that once upon a time when I used to exercise, if I would exercise a little too hard, it was like, I kind of get that like plugged.
This is the first ear infection I've ever had.
I used to get them a lot as a kid.
Yeah, that's my daughter gets them all the time. I'd never had one.
What do you do with what do you do? Do you have like drops or something that you got to do or?
Well, we did, but like it wasn't getting better. So I went to the doctor and I was like, look, I was not feeling well. This ear is hurting. It's sore. Yeah. She took a look. It was like 3 seconds. She's like, yeah, that's an ear infection. So I guess so. I'm on antibiotics.
Yeah. Good for you.
I've got 2 of them.
Is it supposed to like clear it up right away though? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just like when I take my dog to the vet, they say antibiotics and like next day it should be better.
It's been 3 days and it still feels kind of the same. I have drop antibiotics that I put in and then I have antibiotics that I take because it's a middle ear infection apparently.
A middle ear, not like the outer ear.
Yeah,
or
like it's
ear?
inside. Yeah, it's behind the eardrum.
How is it? Did they say like what causes it? Like how does that happen?
Sinuses, I guess. I don't know. I didn't actually care to ask.
What are you sticking your ears on?
Yeah, right.
Is it like pink eye of the ear? Like you got like fecal spots?
Thanks. That's a really great vision.
It doesn't take long for me to get to toilet talk. Okay, I was talking to Luke today on Xbox Expansion Pass, this very intellectual show, like the highbrow of Xbox podcasting. And I'm like, isn't it cool how you can play Xbox games while you're sitting on the toilet? And he's like,
sitting on the John.
This is why we do two different shows now. Doesn't take me long to do it, man. But I don't know. I guess we're live now. Do you want to do that video thing?
You got to say it better than that.
Do the video thing, Donnie! Donnie, I'm a little pissy, I gotta tell you.
So am I. That makes two of us. I've been working all day.
My reason isn't as good as yours, I don't think. I don't want to be working. I'm panicking about going back to work. I've had 2 weeks off, and I go back to work tomorrow.
Oh,
I don't want to. I want to retire.
That never feels good. You should always come back after a vacation in a short week.
Yeah,
I always do that. You always got to give yourself like a short effort. So like if you take an entire week off, don't come back until Wednesday.
That's a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? That's a really good idea. Well, the thing is,
every time I vacation around the weekends. I never start on a Monday. I start on like a Thursday and always come back on like a Wednesday.
I do that with travel too, where I don't like a lot of people are like, oh, I just flew in last night and I'm back at work today. Like, it's like, what are you nuts? Like travel, I've got that locked down. I don't know why I didn't think about it for this vacation. I guess it was a staycation. Yeah, really. Yeah, got a lot of work done around the house.
How's it feel? Feel good? Feel refreshed? Was it worth it?
What I was saying to Chelsea is like, because I just straight up no. I don't feel refreshed. Like I've been busy. But what Chelsea said was, I think she's right about this, is if like I did nothing for the last 2 weeks, I would have felt crummy about that. I would have been like, I didn't do anything.
I just
sat around. Like I don't think so. So what the result is, I just can't.
Can you not just turn off? Like, can you not just chill out?
I can, but then I would feel bad for not having gotten anything done. Like if I was turning off, I would have at least, I guess so. But in the moment, I'm fine with it.
So you can chill for like a limited period of time. Like you can take a day.
Yeah, until
but you can't take a week.
Probably not.
See,
I guess.
I live my life to just stop.
Yeah,
just stop. Like when I hit vacation,
that's what I thought I would be like that.
We have a hashtag around PSVG. When I hit vacation, hashtag Vacation Donnie.
Yeah.
Vacation Donnie wears Bahama shirts, drinks before noon, like has zero plans, doesn't do shit, doesn't go anywhere.
I feel like I've made progress towards that.
That's how I vacation.
It's mostly been honeydew stuff.
No, absolutely not. I'm not taking vacation for any of that. Absolutely not. I want to go somewhere where there's a beach. I want to have zero itinerary. I want to lay in a hammock and I want to be left alone.
Yeah. I filled 2 pages of to-do list items, and I spent a Monday afternoon doing that.
That's awful. That's terrible. I mean,
I built a playground for my kids. My wife she.
But that's a weekend activity, not a vacation activity. Sean, you took time off of work to do
Friday
chores.
And Saturday. Yeah, pretty much.
Oh,
pretty much. I know.
Hurts.
So I guess that's why I feel the way that I'm feeling. But I do feel okay that I've gotten a bunch of stuff done. Like that's pretty good. But I mainly just needed to take, like, if I didn't use a vacation, probably would have been taken away or something like that. I just needed to step away from work for a little bit.
Hey, better you than me. I'm just lazy. That's all it is.
I do regret not taking a couple days off. That was a mistake. I think in my heart, I am lazy. I think
in your heart, you want to be lazy.
I want to be lazy. Right.
But you can't.
Well, I think the result of being lazy is I don't fit in my clothes anymore. Like I'm like kind of at. Yeah. I just don't like this.
Definitely don't do that. You'll end up like me. Like I'm a first, hot tub sauna. Like you'll end up like me.
I was thinking about you today. I was like, I could really go for it because I've been, like I said, I was building that playground. Like my joints hurt. Not even my muscles. My joints hurt. Like my elbows hurt. I've never had elbow pain.
Like, what the heck is this? You get that achy
knees. The knees feel like they're going to explode. They feel like they're going to come from the inside out. And I just do you watch UFC ever? Do you even like watch clips?
Sometimes,
or anything?
like if it's on. To be honest with you, I follow it more on Twitter than actually watching TV.
Same. That's like most sports for me. I just saw this clip. There was this fight. I don't even know who was fighting, but some guy tried to kick another guy in the leg, and the guy checked the kick, and he broke his damn shin bone in half, dude. His foot was just like flailing around, and you could like I don't know why, like that kind of stuff like really grosses me out. Like
the shin kick is not.
Don't do it. Like kick with your heels, like I would be the worst at that, man. I would be thinking like every kick I could just be something breaking. So here I am, I spent a weekend building stuff, and my elbows hurt, and that's kind of where I'm at.
And now you're going back to work.
Now I'm going back to
Sean,
work, so I'm gonna.
You've done this wrong.
I think so. I learned like this. This is how I learn. I do
failed at this. First. You failed at this completely. Like
it's a COVID vacation.
It's the opposite of what you're supposed to be doing.
How much time? Well, you're sitting here working on Sunday, Mister.
I know.
Telling me how to do things.
Well, I'm not on vacation though. Like this is
it's
work.
A Sunday. It's a
but
day
I have
off.
to work on a Saturday. But I have to work today because, so we've got 5 mass vaccination sites that are running, and they run Monday through Saturday. and we've been trying to update our application so we can progress with development.
Sure.
And we have to have these updates. And I told you last week, like they broke all of our servers. So today we had to run custom script code to make it work. And it just took forever. We've been going since 8 o'clock. And I finally got them all up and running. Like it's finally online. We told everybody we'd be down from 9 to 1. We were down from 9 to 3.
Yeah.
But it's working. But
so you're back to work tomorrow. You're working 7 days a week?
Well, yeah, I mean, I was off yesterday, but yeah.
Don't tell me about how to do vacation.
But I'm not on vacation, Sean.
It's a day off.
But when I go on vacation, I go. You don't understand, Sean. I'm gone. Turn phone off for I have 1 hour of phone a day. Like I am.
Funny
gone.
enough, my work phone has been off the entire time as well, and it actually causes some issues with the Xbox Drive because I I tether my phone using my work phone data. And it was so dead that it wouldn't turn on. And I actually think that hotspot might have been taken away from me on this. Oh, it's come back. Okay, cool. Just needed an update. I just turned it back on again.
Nice.
So we're fine there. We can still continue to mooch off of the works phone for the Xbox Drive's data while I drive around.
Hey man, perks of the job. Perks of the job.
Perks of the job. I gotta find.
They want to hire you. That's part of what comes with it. It's part of your compensation package.
Yeah, I don't know that anybody's taking advantage of it quite in that type of way, but it's all good, dude. You get a certain look, I don't look my best when I even when I'm working, and then I go from work and I go into my car to record the Xbox Drive. You might see me in a suit, in a shirt and tie and pajama pants, but pajama pants. Ooh. It's the Zoom outfit. It's the 2020. It's the 2021 outfit, and so I'm in that outfit, going to my truck with my laptop and my super cool Skype headset with the microphone on it. I look like a mess. The things that we look like to do this stuff it's unseen. We don't really talk about it all that much, but that's kind of what I guess this show is about.
I don't dress up nearly as fancy as you, so I can't partake. I
might have to suits.
Stop. I hate suits. My boss hates it about me. I'll do anything and everything out of my power to not put a tie on.
How come?
I'll call in sick if I have to.
What?
I just hate it. I've always hated it.
It looks nice.
Never liked it. No. Feel restricted, feel confined, just feel
So you're wearing the polo right now. I feel like that shows off my man boobs a little too much.
I'm going golfing soon, so that's why.
Yeah, you got your clubs coming.
They're here. They're here.
I
got clubs.
You got to do your stretching.
I got putter. I got a putting pat and everything. I've done all kinds of stuff.
Please stretch. Please take care of yours. You don't pull your back.
I went out and I hit some balls in the yard. I don't know how well it's gonna go. Yeah, I've got woods behind me, so I just hit them out into the woods. But
you really do. I kind of I've been taken by your videos of you sitting in the hot tub. I'm like, look at those feet and the bubbles. But then I look up and it's like this. You're in the forest.
Sticks. Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah. I thought that was only in Canada.
Nope. Nope. The sticks out here in Boone, Nowhere, Georgia. But I'm looking forward to getting. I haven't golfed since my dad died. Really, it's been almost 10 years. It's been
Does it feel big? Does it feel like a thing, or is it just you're going golfing? Yeah.
No, it does. It definitely does. Because I got away from it. I couldn't afford it. I didn't have time. I didn't have the friends. And now it's I'm getting back into it completely for different reasons now. Now it's I don't even care that I have friends. Now it's almost like I just want to go outside and relax a little and
Would you go by yourself? Hit 18 by yourself?
Absolutely. Yeah. Put headphones in, throw the AirPods in. Just go hit the ball around. Maybe not even keep score, for a few rounds, just hit around. But I got to tell you, I was out in the yard. I threw down about 5 balls, and I was like, let's see how the old swing's doing. It's been a while. Shanked one, sliced one.
Perfect.
Then I smacked the ever-loving hell out of one. My son has a basketball goal on the trampoline. I fired a 6-iron through the backboard of it. It left a hole in the backboard. It went right through his basketball goal. And that was the first time my son's ever seen me hit one. He was like, holy crap.
Yeah, Dad can do stuff.
I was like, your dad was good at golf. You have no idea. So I feel positive about it. Almost I feel like it'll just come right back to me, actually. That's how the swing felt. Once I loosened up and got it, I was like, there it is. There's a swing.
Good. Yeah, it seems like maybe the classic dad thing, hey son, sit down, I'll tell you and show you how dad used to do this. And it's never as good because you're old and decrepit and everything, but if you still got the golf swing, man, that's sweet.
I bet I can still get it out there about 300.
Tony Baker actually beat me to it. He said he's missing golfing. It's been a couple of years, and I was about to reach out to him to say we should go. Tony Baker's in Edmonton with me. We could go
Yeah, you guys could. Well, not until like July, apparently, right?
Yeah, no, everything is still frozen over. The ground is hard as rock.
Get your dog sleds out and your snowshoes and go golfing.
Yeah, we play golf on skates and skis and snowshoes. We have to play with neon pink and yellow balls because the white just like blends into the snow that we're playing on. Yeah.
I'm finding more and more people in PSVG land actually play. So maybe if we ever actually do the house party, maybe that could be a part of it. Maybe we could go play.
It's gonna be like a new age like bachelor party. You know,
yeah.
Like it's a classic bachelor party. You go golfing with the buds and do all that stuff.
That'd be great.
We'll just record some podcasts in the meantime.
Yeah, we could do it while we're golfing. The Xbox drive.
No, like a golf drive, like a golf drive. Mm-hmm.
We could stream it live.
That would actually be amazing.
We could do it.
I think we should definitely do it.
We have the technology, Sean.
I wonder if I always wonder what my kids are going to be into. My daughter I think she's the tougher one of the two, to be honest with you. She did a front flip off the swings yesterday. Yeah. Cried for a little bit, and then she was fine. We ripped a Band-Aid off of Lincoln today, and he cried for 12 minutes, dude. He was inconsolable.
My son cries just on his own. Like if he just feels bad, he'll just cry. Like if he does something wrong or felt like my son has punished himself. Mm-hmm. He is just the sweetest heart. He's just the most just, genuine person. My daughter, like her dad.
Yeah.
You're going to have to catch her red-handed. And even if you do, she's going to try to get off.
Mm-hmm. I think the worst that Lincoln does right now is he just, like, if you ask him like what happened, he'll say like, I don't know. Like, you do know why your sister is crying. So he tries to kind of like dodge it a little bit. Kind of does that. But he's very sensitive.
I'll have to have video evidence to convict Victoria, or she won't accept it.
And even still, tampered a little bit. That's a man. Who was it? Was it Kevin? I think in the PSVG in the chat, like still thinking house party is going to happen. He's still coming.
He said that. Yeah, he posted in the Sweet Hangs room in the PSVG Discord. If you want to come out and hang out at Sweet Hangs during the week, Kev said, "Hey, just for the record, I'm in if you're in. Like if we're still doing it, he's still there." Which, like we talked about on that first show, like we felt like if it actually became a thing, and I feel like it's a thing. It's going to be a thing.
It's going to be a thing. I'm not going to let you not make it a thing. Like if you don't do it, then I'm going to do it. I'll host the PSVG
in Canada.
I don't know why you guys don't at least consider it, because you would be like financially, it makes way more sense to come up here. Way more sense.
Yeah, but like environmentally, it makes no sense. There's no reason to go up there. Nobody wants to go there.
I mean, I guess that's kind of mean.
Well, Sean, you posted a picture of like 2 feet of snow yesterday. It's almost
a couple weeks.
It's almost May.
Summer. I know.
E3
dude,
is right around the clock. It's so snowing sad. Where you live. What are you talking about?
Well, it doesn't have to be my part of Canada. Canada's a big place. There's nicer places in Canada.
It's just all Canada.
We could go to Medicine Hat if you like.
It's all the same. What? What? Absolutely not.
You don't want to go to Medicine. What about we could go to Red Deer if you like? Very nice places. Lethbridge. We could go see Justin Masson. I feel like this is like
Dances with Wolves or something. Like, what are you talking
you're not far off. I think it might be based in that part of Canada. Joey Splats is in the chat. Hey, Joey.
But I think we're gonna do it. I'm saving. We paid for Melon. We bought some more equipment, and then the plan was to save everything from this point forward. So like the savings fund has already started. We're obviously not going to go this year because of COVID.
I can't wait. What are we supposed to go to? Ohio? Is that where you said?
Yeah,
Columbus.
But if E3
I can't wait till we get snow there. Mark my words. Whenever we go, we're going to get shit weather.
Not in June.
I'm just saying weirder things.
No, Sean.
I'm sure
weirder things have not happened.
I'm sure it's happened. Texas was without power for like a month or something.
But if E3 is back, which by all accounts it is, then we're basically, you could look at it this way. We're basically 13 months away from the house party because we would go a year from this June, right?
Right.
This June's about a month away. So you add an extra month, we're about 13 months away from doing it. So
start saving. I'll start selling saving. Some of my stuff. Mm-hmm.
Start saving. I love the idea. We go golfing. We could make
that actually is really nice. That's an added bonus. I was already there.
We could have an actual blast out there, just driving golf carts around, just acting like fools.
Oh my gosh!
Of course, record and stream it all.
Mm-hmm. We'll have hopefully Rebecca and Elaine and maybe even Carol will come out and they'll just be like judging us from the side, like just arms crossed, just like look at these boys. What are they doing?
What? Elaine needs to get in on the fun. What are you?
She would do both. She'd be on both. She'd like, look at these boys. That looks amazing. Jumps on it.
She'll outshow us.
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. Hey, I'm glad you're still doing the show with me. I thought I'd ruined you.
No, you ruined Jace. That's all. You ruined Jace for me.
I don't know.
And maybe a little bit of Mario Kart. You may have ruined Mario Kart for me a little bit. I saw you guys playing it the other day, and I was just like, oh.
Twisted Mansion didn't come up. I don't even think once. Sorry, man.
And you guys played some really boring courses too.
Well, we don't individually pick each one.
You were all sliding around Animal Crossing, losing your minds, and all of a sudden Twisted Mansion sucks.
Boring. What did I say?
You looked like you were having a blast.
That's just me. I'm always having a blast, but inside I'm dying.
That show was let's hate all of Donnie's favorite things about Mario Kart.
I'm sorry. I don't even know why I brought it up.
You guys didn't even pay attention to Mario Kart. You didn't even know half the tracks meant. All you saw was road.
Racing. Yeah.
Just a road. You didn't see anything that was actually going on around it.
I mean, I got a little tunnel vision. What does it even
matter? It's all just the same thing.
I'm surprised that Jace didn't see the rest of it because he's very observant. He knows things. You know me. I get my focus on one thing. I don't see anything else, man.
And see, like I feel like I'm not that way. I always feel like when I'm watching like rewinds or deep dives, like there's all these Easter eggs and things I never even know. I was just going off my memory of Mario Kart 8. And
pretty good.
And I felt terrible because I was like, yeah, that's the one that like corkscrews and flips upside down. And you guys were like, no. I was like, maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Isn't that funny too? Like the notion of like somebody else coming to the table with a bit of confidence. Like, and you're like, wait, do I? And like, you know, right? But you know, somebody else comes to the table.
Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, it makes you doubt yourself.
Because I was like, obviously, you guys have played it a lot more than I have, at least recently. Because I haven't played it in like a year. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
But I mean, you
run the Nintendo Shack.
I played it a bunch. Yeah, I've played it a very long time. So like, felt like I knew. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know that I got any comments to say like we got it wrong though. I'll just say that much.
Yeah, that worked. Yeah, you got that going for you. I did see some people, you know, rest in peace for Donnie, justice for Donnie. I saw a few of those.
You'll get yours. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, right.
What do you mean, yeah, right?
We'll see. We will see.
Well, and the funny thing is, what did the clip do? I sent you a clip after we recorded. I was listening back, and at the start of the episode, you're like, I'm just coming into this thing like super chill, like whatever.
Yeah, to be honest with you, yeah. I never even thought to rank them. Like, I know that's a thing that we do, and like I get it, like with certain things, like especially like games.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna rank games. This one's better than that game. I never thought to rank the courses in Mario Kart. I was like, it's all Mario Kart. You know, it's all good. It's a great game.
Yeah. Just play the tracks.
Yeah, just play them. Except for, you know, Cheese Land and Moo Moo Meadows.
Well, then that's just it. And as you play more and more, I just feel like, you know, you have a reaction when a track pops up. You either go like, hooray, or this one.
Twisted Mansion is a hooray. That's
kind of where that comes from.
You losers. Can't believe you guys. The dry bones, the damn giant hammers and stuff. The thing's awesome.
Sorry, man. Do you want to talk about something else this week?
Yes.
We just
as fast as possible.
No more rankings. That was one of my like top ideas. I wanted to do a lot of rankings and lists and everything, and that was it. We did games of the generation.
I think you jumped off too much. Like you jumped off. You bit
off more than I could chew.
Yeah, it was too much. It's like 50 courses.
That was a lot.
We should have done like our top 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. 50's too much.
Probably.
Or we start off with like 25 already done. It's like these 25 suck, so we've already done them. Like these are the bottom ones. Now let's go from here. Yeah.
Next time. Next year.
Who cares?
We'll do another version.
It doesn't matter.
Exactly. Who cares?
Who cares?
I think for the because really the result of it doesn't really matter. It's the journey.
Did you have fun?
I had a blast.
Did you have fun when Jace sniped me from elevating? I still feel like I felt
bad. I listened to that episode actually a couple times. I felt real bad.
That was garbage because I was clearly wanting to do it.
Yeah.
So that was garbage.
Also, listening back, I felt like you shouldn't have actually been forced to use your 2 vetoes to move those things down because we all kind of that was a move that should have been done. So
I was just trying to fix the chart.
Yeah. You were that much more desperate to fix the chart. But I think you did a good job. Anyway, it's good to see you, man. I'm glad we're back. Yeah. We'll put some distance between us in that episode, perhaps.
Fucking Dev.
And guests on the show. Just kidding, Jace. I love Jace.
Dev is never coming on the show now. Like, we're just going to leave him off from here.
Yeah, it could be bad. I could just be like sitting in with popcorn, to be honest. Like you bring Dev in, I'll just sit back here. I'll play the part of the audience and just watch you two go at it. It'll be good. It'll be good, man. So yeah, what do you want to do this week?
You tell me.
You want to do nothing. The whole like we're halfway through, or we're half a year into this generation. You want to chat about the new generation of consoles?
We can.
And how we don't need them.
I mean, I think that's honestly that's the that's got to be the first takeaway, right?
Do you think that? Like that's I mean,
that's
it's easy to say when you have them.
My first impression of having both is that neither, I think, are making a really great case for being necessary. Doesn't mean they're not good. Doesn't mean they're not good.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Are they justifying their existence? Like, do you have to have one? Absolutely not.
And then is it any different than any other first year of a console? Which I would say
no, and it is very different.
You think it's different?
I think it's very different. I think like, okay, so like the Switch, right? It's not. I think
Switch is the exception. The rule is first year sucks. Switch was like, they had to.
Switch had 3 games and it didn't matter, right? Like you had to have the Switch justified its existence day one, like the hour one, just by having Breath of the Wild.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that's the exception. Like that most console launches are not like what the Switch did.
I would argue that I think the PS4 and the Xbox One did more in the first 6 months than these consoles are. I would very much make that argument strongly.
I didn't have either one at day one, and I didn't regret.
I had my PS4 day one, and I remember I had day one. So I had Outlast, NBA 2K, Resogun, Killzone Shadowfall. All of which I played a lot, all of which were exclusives, all of which were like showing the case for the hardware and ownership, all of which were a significant leap from last gen. What do we have to show for this?
I don't know.
There's not a lot there. I mean, it's not to say that there's stuff that's not there. There is stuff that's there. Miles Morales, Astrobot, the Medium, like there's stuff there. Don't get me wrong. But it's stuff that you can also have somewhere else, right? Let's just be open and like cross-gen, you have the ability to play it somewhere else. It's also not as big a leap forward as we have with especially the mid-cycle upgrades. And we don't have that exclusive, and it doesn't have to be. I want to be clear.
I totally disagree with so much.
I want to be clear. You don't have to have an exclusive that shows off the hardware. Right. That's not the point. But there isn't an exclusive thing that is made so much better by the new hardware that you really feel like I really need to play that on that thing. Like I'm playing Ghost of Tsushima right now, and I've been playing for the last couple of weeks, and it is great. It is. I'm all in on this game. I actually think I love this game now. And it's way better on PS5. Like it's way better on PS5 than it was on PS4. Doubt. But there's still tens of thousands of people that played it on PlayStation 4 had no issue. Like it's not so much better that it's like I gotta have a PS5.
Try and go back. I think that's the thing, and this is why I think long form stuff like conversations and podcasts are great, because this is not a conversation you can have on Twitter, right?
No, you definitely can. And I see the chat again. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Sean. I just want to make sure. Again, the point isn't to say that it's not worth having. There's definite benefits. The question is, like 6 months in, is it like, would I make the recommendation to anybody out there? It's like, you've got to get your hands on a next gen console as soon as possible. No. Like I feel definitively saying no. Whereas day one last gen, I was like, yeah, like you need a PS4 right now, like today, as soon as you can.
I mean, I literally didn't. Right. Like, and I felt completely fine with not having, it seemed like the last gen, like I was playing a lot of NHL games and like those were all fine. Until maybe this point in the year. Like this is about where Titanfall came out, and then the next Call of Duty came out, and it's just like anybody who's playing 360 version of whatever the I think it was Advanced Warfare after Ghosts, right? And it's like, oof, that's pretty. Yeah. So it's in that first year. But I feel like, in the past we would point to like singular experiences, like this game, like you brought up Shadowfall, which I think is an excellent example. Hard to refute that. But like right now, I look at my Series S and my Series X and go like everything is better. It's not just about like one game or that game, or I'm playing it for this or that reason. Like I was just playing.
It's a better experience.
It's so much better, and that's why like I kind of cringe a little bit when you said it's not that much of a leap forward.
I couldn't recommend somebody like just your average user. It's like, hey, do I really need this right now?
See, and I think that's common in the first year of everything. Like I think that early adopters are looking for very particular things. They'll hang their hat on one thing or another. And I think they'll be pleased with that. So it is hard to, I will agree with you there that I think it's hard to go to just a general person in the first year of anything and go, you need to pick this up.
Yeah.
Because in the older cases, you kind of hang your hat on like one or two gaming experiences. And in this case, I'm hanging my hat on the fact that like load times are better and we've got 120 frames on these games that we love.
Well, we've got 120 frames on these games. We're like, not so much the PlayStation folks. Can't help them. It's
very interesting stuff over there. Very, very, very interesting.
Keep talking, Dev. I'll keep bringing it.
He says the average user does need it. I don't know.
And he knows better because he talks about Dev's boys all the time and how, to the mean and to the average and to the less, how much they don't follow all this and how much these things don't matter. Like, he knows better.
Yeah. Well, I think that's where and now we've got different options, like genuinely different options where you've got, you got the Series S that fits in your backpack if you wanted to, or you've got something as powerful as the PS5. And it seems like now with the Series S, you can just pay $299. You can play Fortnite. You can play Destiny. You can play Call of Duty Warzone, all free to play. And it's next gen frames for $300. That's pretty, that is probably the most compelling if you're thinking about first year stuff. And do you need one or not? I think that's got to be the most compelling argument to more average gamer. Whereas, what is it, $500 for a PlayStation or Series X?
Yeah, I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. And especially when you put in when you view it from the lens of the average consumer. But at the same time, so many of the benefits that you just rattled off are benefits of the better system. And I think there are more benefits to the better system than the smaller system. So while you may save a few bucks, I almost argue that I think the stronger urge is to just bite the bullet now, get the better system. You'll save more in the long run.
Yeah.
You'll benefit more in the long run. But you do have to have, certain expenses to take advantage of that. Television, storage. Yeah, there's things like that. But I mean, when I think of 6 months into this cycle, right? I think the cycle got off, to a slow start. I think you can really say because of COVID. It got off to a slow start, not just not necessarily in games, but like the systems themselves, like the patches and everything that came through early on. Like a lot of my experience on PlayStation 5, like UI wise, kind of feels unfinished or, like a work in progress. Like it doesn't feel like completely polished and tailored to like a UI experience that would leave me
sour big time. You fire it up and you're excited it's new and it's like this, you're not done. You're not done. And Xbox is a different way.
It's got good things, but it's got weird things too. There are different things you got to get really used to. And it's like, there's still several things about that system that I feel like this isn't going to be like this for long. Like that's how I feel. Like it's almost transitionary. I'm like, they'll patch this soon.
And we just sort of agree to sign up for that. Like we're just okay with it. And that's just kind of the way that it is.
That's the way that it is.
I mean, and that's something that I feel like there are certain things that we've accepted in gaming that are starting to go away one by one. And it's kind of interesting when we look back on the last 5, 10, 15 years and go like, remember the time when we just had to do this or we couldn't do this or whatever. I think that there will be a time when we look back and go like, remember when we had to install games? I think that we'll come back to a point where we don't have to do that because cloud will come back into play there. Right. Yep. Or remember the time we had to download these 50 gigabyte patches. Like, I think that will eventually go away, but we're sort of in this, this adolescent period where we're still kind of small. Like our voice is cracking a little bit. It's a little bit weird, but I guess the question that I have for you, Donnie, is I think it's different to go, do we need these consoles or can we recommend them to anybody else? But I think the question I want to ask is are you disappointed? Would you rather not have this right now?
No, absolutely not. Nope,
right. So it's different.
I got them. I'm glad I got them. Like I said, there's definitely advantages. I mean, obviously they're newer. They're worth having. They're worth having. But yeah, no, I love having them. I do think they're better. I'm enjoying even the small improvements, load times, things like that. I'm enjoying all of those. I love those.
I don't like that you call them small though. Like that's my thing is they those add up to such a better experience.
They do.
And
but but they add up to a better experience. They're not the better experience. Like it's not, I think I don't want to say you're overselling it because they are better. Don't get me wrong. It's just I think it's easy for us diehards to be like, oh my God, it's so much better. But when I think of the average person, they're like, Yeah, like it loads.
I guess
the
what
other
I'm
one
trying to do
loads.
is just like pull it up from like to where it really should be, like where the opinion on that selling feature should be. I'm not trying to go like it's worth like it's a 15 out of 10. This is something you put on the side of a billboard. Like I'm not saying that, but I do feel like there has to be some sort of like extra emphasis on it.
Yeah,
To
like
go,
I can't.
It's not as far down as
I can't justify somebody paying for a new console just because it loads faster.
It's a tough one. I mean,
that can't be the only thing that you're talking about. You
this
need to
is
talk
the whole
about
like
a lot
GPU
more
conversation. Like you spend $700 on a GPU and you're getting more frames and maybe some better lighting and whatnot.
Spot on. And there's millions of people apparently doing that.
Right. And I agreed with that. Like I've upgraded my PC like over
and
the
like
years.
I wouldn't, right?
Yeah.
And I don't. So like, yeah, I mean, it's just different types of customer and types of buying points. I just feel like, somebody in the chat said these consoles really should have launched this year as opposed to when they did. And I think I kind of agree with it. I think they could launch, those consoles could have been held till now and they could launch now. And I really don't think we've missed out on anything. And I guess that's the point, right? Like if you feel like you're missing out on something, I don't think you are. I don't think anybody has really missed out on anything yet. Like the DualSense is cool. Like it's got triggers that are hard to pull. But like, are you missing out on that? Like, no.
Yeah.
The dashboard on Series X is super fast and smart, what is it? What's the damn thing? I just forgot the damn buzzword.
Smart delivery?
Smart delivery. I was going to say SmartGen. Yeah, smart delivery is cool.
There's a lot of buzzwords going on.
How easy it works is really nice. It's very nice to like a consumer, but are you missing out on it? No. Like, is it cool that Ghosts or Forza or Gears loads as fast as it does? Yeah, but like, are you missing out on not having it? Not really. You're not. What's fun? You're not missing out on anything.
I feel like there's a sense that I have playing games now where I look back almost in shame on the previous generation. It was exactly the same thing that I did when I got my Xbox One and PS4 on the previous generation before that, which was last generation. I was like, I thought we were already playing games in HD. What are these what was this HD talk? Why are we arguing about 1080? I thought the last gen was, and realizing that last gen wasn't as good as I really thought it was. Now we're at this gen. I'm looking back at last gen going, maybe last gen wasn't as good as I thought it was, because I thought these games were running pretty good. And now that they're running at 60 frames or in some cases 120 frames.
Now,
it's like maybe last gen was kind of shit.
Personally, if you have the opportunity to buy something, I would tell you that 60 is worth it. I love the frame rate. It's worth having. I'm not telling you that you don't need it. Like, it's worth having. I'm just telling you, like, if you're like, oh, I want one so bad, you're not missing out on anything. Like, if you can't get one until the fall, that's fine. You're okay. I'm walking the
I feel like I'm walking the middle as well, and I can look on one side and go like, there's a point over here. I can look on the other side. I think that there's a point there too, because I'm very quickly reminded of what last gen was like when I play on xCloud. I was just playing Tell Me Why on xCloud, and it's like, whoof, these load time. Like, we say load times, and it's like, it seems like an inconvenience, but it's a core part of the experience. And we talk about games like Bloodborne. If you remember when Bloodborne first came out, it was like amazing game, great combat, gameplay first, but those load times are rough when it first came out. And they fixed those load times to a certain degree. Like
as you would expect them to, right? Every time you buy new hardware, you expect it to get better. It should get better. Yeah. That's why you're buying it. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's better. It's definitely better. I'm not arguing about their existence. They're better.
I already can't wait for like the next version. I mean, and not by like mid-generation upgrade, but like the slim version, especially with the PlayStation, of course. I kind of go like, what's the next look going to be? Like, what's this, after they just get the first lot of them out? Cause I got my PS4, I got the white Destiny, Glacier White edition. Beautiful package. Like, I love the console. And I feel like, a year after a console comes out, that's when you start to see some of the, I don't know, like maybe, what's his name? Xbox Pope. Some of those designs coming out for Series X. That's something to be excited about. And that's where some of the early adopters might regret with jumping in so soon.
With the AMD stuff and super resolution, all the stuff that they're like basically trying to bake in, there's a part of me that wonders like if that delays getting any sort of updated hardware, because they might be able to do more with less going forward.
Right. Yeah, it's possible. I mean, it changes the architecture, really. Like, that was when you went from Xbox One to the One X. Like, that wasn't even the same console inside. Yeah. Right. Like, we already we've already done this generational leap. Right. Like, the amount of power, the parts that were inside, it looked and appeared like an Xbox One, and it played the same games, but the parts inside were totally different.
More PC like.
Yeah.
And I mean, ultimately, like I said, we've got all these consoles. I know people are paying above and beyond MSRP because they feel like they've got to have it. And I just don't think you're getting anything out of it by doing that. I think just wait till you can get one. There's nothing worth going above and beyond to have one right now yet. That's not amazing. Here yet. It might be here for Halo Infinite. It might be here for Horizon. It'll come for sure. But that moment, we haven't reached that moment yet. Whereas I felt like last gen, that moment came much earlier. But that doesn't mean it's not worth having. I do love having them. I enjoy playing on them.
Well, what I was going to say is I think it's interesting just to look at the different ways that these consoles can be released and still be successful. I think PS5 is a good example of one where solid lineup. Like when you think about the games that were coming out on day one, I think way better on PlayStation, right? For reasons to get a PlayStation, probably better over there. But it's like Xbox did its thing, which is more of a carryover, trying to get people onto Game Pass. PlayStation believes in generations, but sort of not really. And they got their Sackboys and Astrobots, really good games.
PlayStation believes in 2 generations. Right. Is the correct way that they should. That's what
he's like. I said generations. I said plural.
Yeah. But the point we believe in the last 2 generations. Is what
I'm in a roundabout way getting to, like, Nintendo wrote the book, right? And I guess the disappointment that I have so far is that, like, why can't they all do that? Like what Nintendo did with the Switch is, in my book, like that's how you launch a console. That's how you convince people, isn't it? You don't think so? Why is that laughable? How?
All right, PlayStation, Xbox, listen to me. Here's what you got to do. Make one of the greatest games of all time and launch a console with it.
I'm just saying, but yes, also pretty good.
But look how many cracks at the bat. Look how many cracks at the bat Nintendo had. They missed on that too.
Exactly.
Like you can't look at the best ever and be like, yeah, just do that. They're all trying to do that.
Sure. I'm not. Okay. Walk it back on the greatest game of all time, because that's not actually the point that I'm trying to make.
Okay.
But they did have a slew of games. It was almost every month. They had something, an exclusive.
They had a good
to play the game.
They had a very good
of course,
roadmap.
Launching with the best.
Of course, though, you remember some of those games were Mario Kart games that have already been out. They were ports of games, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can't have it both ways. You can't be like, I want smart delivery, but also like make sure I have an exclusive every month, because Nintendo, some of those exclusives were games that they already had.
Yeah. Isn't that interesting too? I mean, the take on that is totally different because it's packaged in a way that people feel like it's new. Like they literally
because
call
it is
3DS
new. Well,
the new
difference,
3DS.
The reason that, or at least the reason that I look at it is the reason that you can kind of talk yourself into it. It's different architectures, different thing. You're talking about one that was on a disc, one that's on a cartridge. It's not in a shared account system.
That's a technicality,
one was on Power PC. The other one is on an ARM. One was a console. One's a phone.
Yeah.
Like there was, it's not like they saved Mario Kart as Switch title. They had to port it. That was a real thing. Now, if they come out with Switch 2 and they try to do it again, now you get to be angry, right? That's the whole point. That's the whole point behind the science.
That's why I'm more fascinated about it than anything. Is just like what each company can do to appeal to its base, really. Like sure. Nintendo can repackage and resell. People will buy it again.
Hey, and if you give them something that they want, the Switch, they're happy to do it. If you give them something they don't want, the Wii U, didn't go so well.
Right. But my point is, like, I was just praising Nintendo for, like, having a great launch strategy, which included, as you mentioned, repackaged ports.
Yeah. How would you like it if it was like Gears of War 5, Amazing Edition, $60? We wouldn't like that. We'd be upset.
But that was just it. That's the core of my point. And thank you for helping me find it, which is they did an upgrade of Gears 5 with the launch of Series X. And I don't think anybody cared. And Gears 5 is excellent. I know you did, but it doesn't make like a splash. Like the reason I say like nobody cares is because neither of us brought it up as like one of the things that happened when the Series X launched.
The problem is, it's not a problem. The challenge is when you go down that path, when you adopt the PC-like thing, then you come with PC-like expectations, and that's the expectation on the PC. That's not new. It's not new. It's not new ground, right? Like that's what happens.
So like, how would they? It's just. They're making. It seems like they're making a big deal out of, and when I say they, I mean Xbox. Like it seems like they're making a big deal out of all these, like the revivals, all the free masters and everything. But it still doesn't land as hard as, I guess, it's just not Mario Kart. Like none of these games are.
There you go.
Some of the best franchises.
Ultimately, what we will come down to is what we could have started from the top. Nintendo, nobody is held to the same standards as Nintendo. It's not fair to hold each other if they have different expectations.
Yeah.
Nintendo does it. It's not just that they do their own thing. It's that they're held to a different standard.
Well, I just think the games are different.
They're very different. They're completely different. And their approaches are different. Everything is different.
Yeah.
You know, so they're not the same.
But it's just interesting. Like I look back at the Wii U and it was dead in the water before it even started, you know, like there's just so much confusion. So
many of the people with podcasts said that. I don't necessarily agree. I love my Wii U.
And that's what I'm speaking to. I know. I got it. I know. You know,
I loved it and I was excited for it and I loved it for years, but I get it.
Yeah. It's just interesting. Like, I don't know if we're getting like further and further away from how we.
Sean is just being mean. I'm being mean. even not in my own show, Rebecca comes to argue with me.
I would have done the same thing as you though. Like, oh, really? Just launch with the best game ever. But
Dev says Returnal.
Returnal.
You know, I listened to Rebel FM talk about Returnal, and it solidified my point. I'm never even going to try that game. I could try it for free, and now I'm not even going to try.
Yeah. Oh no, just the roguelike stuff.
Don't think it. Well, it's not. I won't go into it. It's not my platform to talk about why I would not like Returnal. I don't care. Well, I don't want to upset anybody that's excited for Returnal. Let them talk about it and talk about it. You know, but they said a lot of things that I, think would apply to me. And I was like, yeah, so I'm just going to skip.
See, and that's an interesting thing. It's a funny place that we find ourselves in just by podcasting, right? Because like somebody brings something up and like, Donnie, what do you think about Returnal? And it's like, I probably shouldn't say it. It's like, it's sort of part of the gig, but
with me, you got to remember, I don't want to say you got to remember because with us being talking heads on Xbox shows, anytime we throw anything, the other way, it is, it's because you blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I just take the opposite approach now. It's like, look, I will praise things that I like. Love Ghost of Tsushima. It's a great game. It would be in my top 5 game of the year already. Like I'm having a blast. And the things I don't like, I would just not say anything about it.
Yeah.
So then you can't say that I'm being that way. I'll let the fans that like it champion it, and I'll go on and talk about other things.
Yeah, I guess so. I look at that game and go, I'll just wait until I get my PS5 and I'll play it on that kind of thing. Like my angle that I used to be able to play, which is I actually bought more PlayStation 4 consoles than I did.
Yeah,
Xbox
so you go about trying to prove it, whereas I look at it as a lost cause. It's a lost cause.
I've gotten to that point. Like I've climbed over the hill. And it's like, that wasn't worth it.
It's a lost cause.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, nobody's ever going to accept it. Yeah.
Well, it continues to pop up in my day-to-day life. Like I was kind of like tidying up the other day and I'm putting controllers away. I'm like, there's way more PS4 controllers in this thing than Xbox controllers. Like I have so many of these things. They're around. But yeah, it doesn't matter.
I like when my friends are excited about things and I want them to be excited. So I only want to I'm trying to make a concentrated effort to only chime in when I'm also excited.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Nobody needs
I don't know that anybody's like applying
the same. There's plenty of haters in the world. They don't need another one for me.
Yeah, but you get it on your own shows too. Like I don't know. You talk about your stuff and people are like, God, Donnie, people don't care about that.
Well, at least on my own shows, like if I'm doing it, at least that's my platform and I'm doing it
because
I'm making, like nobody's like, oh, you're just hating Nintendo because you like Xbox. Nobody's doing that but Rebecca. Nobody's throwing that at me, so like, and next week we're going to, be excited about Pokemon Snap, so like if I hate Pokemon Snap, nobody's going to.
Next week?
Yeah. Next Friday.
What the hell even day is it? Holy crap.
So like nobody's going to like, oh, you don't like Pokemon Snap because, you play Gears of War. Like nobody's going to do that to me.
Right. Yeah, what a silly thing.
Yeah.
Like really. Like you just can't.
It's what we do.
It's just the sad part though. Like that's the thing that kind of like deflates me a little.
I think it's weird. Ooh, I'm trying to think of a better word. Weird's not the right word. I think it's interesting. It's an interesting facet of gaming that we compare and contrast things to make a point. That makes all the sense in the world. Like that's subjective. But then people get mad that we compare and contrast. But then the result of that cycle is to be like, oh, I just hate that we always have to do this. But like, that's why we're doing it. We're doing it because of that reason. It's that is an interesting, there's almost like I've said this for a few years now. There's like an interesting psychology about this. It's like you get real excited when you're excited and then you don't mind because you're excited about it. You love it. Give me all the compare and contrast. It's only when it veers off that you don't like it. So then you fall to that, oh, I'm so tired of this. I don't want to hear it anymore. And it's only because you just don't like what's going on right now. Like if it was going the opposite way, you would like it.
Yeah,
it would go well.
Eat it up and find more.
There you go. So it is very, very interesting that there always seems to be that cycle, right?
Yeah.
When Breath of the Wild comes out, I'm gonna want to play it. I'm gonna want to hear what everybody else had to think of, just like the first one, because I was really, really into it, right? But if everybody hates it, then you have people like, oh, I just don't like doing this anymore.
We're black and white. We're binary people. Like we're kind of, and that's why I've always appreciated the podcast, because like, let's explore it a little bit. Like games can be a 10, they don't have to be a 10 or a 0. Like there's value in the gray that we can kind of explore together.
I think, I guess the point I'm trying to make is I think like when somebody throws their arms up in the air and they're just like, oh, I'm sick and tired of all of this commentary. I think it's a natural progression of things going through the cycle, like going through the process of like whatever it is collectively, that this is like commentary, podcast reviews, like whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
When you have so many people talking, if you're consuming all of that, it's very easy to get there. So you can just like turn it off, which I think is there's a lot of people that are just like, I just don't care anymore, I'm gonna turn it off. I think that's a very valid reason.
Yeah.
Or you can kind of like just kind of refocus, reprioritize like how much you're enjoying that, and be like, it's part of it. Like this is part of like this market, and it's weird because it's real easy to think it's just games, but it's not.
No,
it's literally like any product that's
sports,
sold,
movies, comics.
Yeah. Anything that's sold or done is like I was reading Mortal Kombat stuff because I watched the Mortal Kombat movie.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a good movie. It was like there were entertaining things, but like if you're like, Don, is that a good movie? No.
Sounds perfect for me.
But there are people that do, and they're mad that there are people that don't. Like in that, it always will be that way. It just will always be that way.
Do you think that there's like, I would like to think, and this is maybe just me being idealistic, where like I gotta think that there's people seeking out the conversational part of it, right? Like the loudest people are the ones saying like, oh, I can't believe you're of a different opinion than me. That's garbage. I don't want to participate in that. But are there listeners? Is there an audience for people who want to hear?
I hope so.
Say something different than me. Like
I hope so, because I mean, I think I like to think that that's what I try to do.
Right.
Like in my own shows, I think that's why I think they're really long form, and that's why my shows are 90 minutes, and because I think that's what we try to do.
Right.
And we can have fun with it and we can tease, but like we try to not take it too far, and we try to keep it in perspective. Like I think this week or the past week on Xbox, we were talking a little bit about PlayStation, and we talked about the news of the Schreier article, and we tried to put it in focus from our standpoint, and we tried to talk about it as opposed to just being like, oh, all caps, 40 characters, you suck. We try to do that. I hope there are people out there, because that's what I gravitate to.
Same.
So I don't necessarily think it's as big.
It's that personal attachment we have to the thing that we like. And then so if somebody's attacking the thing we like, they're attacking
you feel offended.
Me or my and then I just wish you could just smack somebody across. And even me, like sometimes I catch myself like, oh, I don't like what I'm hearing, maybe I'll turn away. Like that's not then we further divide. Yeah. And that's a bigger topic.
Unless you can like pull yourself out. Like that's where I'm at. So unless I just kind of pull back and I go, this is just a part of it. Right. Like this is just a part of it. Right. These people don't like this. So now it's going through the mud, and that's a part of it. And I've been on both sides of it. So like I get it from both angles, and I know what it's like to, oh man, the world hates this thing I like. And oh man, everybody loves this thing that I like. I know what it feels like from both instances. I guess, I don't even know if there's a point to be made here. It just, I like what I like. So,
well, my point, I guess I was just kind of like,
really
I guess I was triggered a little bit by you going like, I don't want to like engage in that a little bit. I'm like, oh, but no, like that's bending to the will of perhaps a vocal minority versus like what you genuinely want to do.
I think it's more fun and entertaining to let people that really like the things they like talk about them, as opposed to letting people talk about all the things they don't like about something.
Yeah, and it's a fine line, because there's certain, and what I really appreciate about you is you know what you like, you know what you don't like, and I struggle with that all the time. Like I don't know, like I like to try things, but then I'm like, why did I try that? Like I don't tend to like those sorts of things. I could have been playing something that I do like, and it's you're a little bit more like black and white about it, which I think is good. I think that's a quality. One of the things that took me a really, really long time to
to learn. And I think it'd be very funny because I think a lot of people would probably say that I still haven't learned it. I think it's fair, but I think over the years of PSVG, I've learned that I don't have to have an opinion on everything. I don't have to be involved in every topic that's being debated at the moment. You know, like, and that's a benefit of having a team. Like we have a whole team that speaks for us. It doesn't have to be me. I don't have to give you my opinion on every watermark game throughout the year. Like I can literally just be like, dude, go listen to Diff.
Yeah.
Like I got nothing for you on this game. I don't think I'll like it. Didn't play it. Don't care. Go find somebody that did. You know, like we've. Well, got it
seems to be centralizing around the notion of Returnal, which, you know, if you were to listen to the PlayStation people, the pundits and all the commentators on that, they've all been talking about, is this game going to be worth $70? Like it's, and now that the previews are starting to come out, like maybe it's a little bit more positive, but it's like, y'all weren't talking too positively about this game like not that long ago. And guess who was? Like Xbox Drive guy. I was like, Housemarque is amazing. This game looks great. And all the PlayStation people also like pointing people in particular directions, I think can be very misleading. And you don't see like just what's just beside you.
Our PlayStation people are very excited, and they have been. So I can't follow you there. Like our PlayStation folks have really liked it. I don't follow that many other PlayStation people.
Yeah, I listen to like Babbitt on the Trophy Room. I listen to Colin Moriarty with the Sacred Symbols and everything. And a lot of those are big, especially Colin, like massive podcasts. And, you know, speaking directly to people who are buying into that ecosystem. And the conversation wasn't about like whether or not the game was going to be good or any of the preview materials. It was about, is this game worth $70 because it's this genre of game?
Yeah.
And it's like, if all you're going to listen to, right. And so, yeah, if you're only
and that's a completely different conversation than whether it's good or not. Completely different. Like a thing can be good and not worth $70. Same thing. A thing could be great and worth $140. Those are just completely different conversations. So somebody like may love the game and still be like, it might be a little bit much. And they're just comparing that product versus other products.
Yeah.
You know, based on quality, based on time, based on whatever it is that they value.
And then I was going to say, like, that conversation has been complicated for years, and it's only made even more complicated now with Game Pass, where like how people consume and purchase games is like completely out of whack.
And Game Pass is completely influencing that math that people do in their head, and that's what it's meant to do. Microsoft is using their advantage of money and revenue to further their advantage. Like they are using it against their competitors by subsidizing this cost. And I think a very interesting topic is, are they conditioning Xbox fans to begin to expect more of that? And like, does that work out in the long run? You know, like, can they get enough people with Game Pass that it's a wash and it doesn't matter? Yeah. or like 2 years from now, are we just not buying any games because we're like, Game Pass, it'll just come again. We'll just wait for Game Pass.
Yes, probably. And we've seen the race to the bottom and its dangers in the past with mobile, where, you know, it basically, like, if it wasn't free, it wasn't going to be, people weren't going to download the app. They weren't going to play the game or whatever. And you get this flood of garbage, right? Mm-hmm. Because there's not enough money to do that. And I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen with Game Pass. I think there's a more sustainable model. Like the free-to-play model on mobile is betting on, hopefully there's a couple whales out there who's going to, you know, toss a couple $100,000 at this app that somebody's going to make. So quite a bit different. But yeah, I think it's doing two things. One, it's reinforcing kind of like how I already was playing and buying games. I wasn't the type of person who's like buying every single new release. Like that's never been me. I actually went 1 year without buying any new releases. I set my like timetable back a year. I was like, I'm only buying a game if it's a year old because it's $20. Right. Wow. I've done that. And it was to tackle what was happening was I was buying brand new games and not playing them. But what ended up happening was I was buying 3 old games and not playing any of those. So my backlog it totally backfired, right? Like did not work out the way that I wanted it to. Yeah. But I've never been the type that a person who buys a brand new game every single month. So for me, Game Pass is reinforcing that style that I've already consumed games in, but reinforcing it beyond. So now I'm looking at Nintendo and PlayStation going like, I don't know if I want that either. Like I'll really wait on those games. So
I think it's a conversation worth having because there's got to be some sort of effect on consumer habit. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, that's just how it is, right? Like when you start, you know, I don't want to say for free, like you're paying for it, but when you start going down this road, it then becomes, you know, harder to rein it back in or do both.
Yeah. Well, and then the quality conversation comes in as well, because I would argue that there's better movies that are available to purchase maybe on Blu-ray or somewhere else that aren't on one of the streaming options like Netflix or whatever it is, Amazon or something. Mm-hmm. But that doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter that there's better movies. People are just locked in on Netflix or whatever it is, and they choose to forego some of those better experiences that are available somewhere else. And maybe it's just a matter of time that they all encompassing.
Luckily for me, I've always been the gamer. I like playing the new things when they release. I buy lots of games. I'll play them, may not finish them all. I don't care. And I like to play them kind of while they're happening. So for me, I'm not doing anything but saving money with Game Pass. That's all Game Pass is just a giant coupon. And if anything, it's like enabling me to buy more other things.
Right.
You know, just I'll just buy more Switch games now because my Xbox is taken care of. I've bought it all. It's all done.
And that may be why I end up with Nintendo and Xbox right now, because Nintendo does the thing where they just don't put their games on sale, right? Like, it actually doesn't benefit me at all to be waiting for Nintendo games.
It makes it a lot easier for me to take a $60 chance on an exclusive report on Nintendo, knowing that I'm not going to miss out on an upcoming Xbox game because it's all done. You know, it's all taken care of.
Because Pokemon Snap's a $60 game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
PlayStation is the only one that went up to 70, or there's Activision.
So far, third parties definitely have. Third parties have. Yeah,
but the first parties.
Yeah. I'm expecting. I'm not expecting because I'm not going to read them, but I've been expecting. You listen to Nintendo Check. You know, I've been expecting that, like, reviewers will talk about, you know, Pokemon Snap's lack of game time. I expect that to be a thing because if it's anything like the original, it's a short game.
Yeah.
And I expect that value thing, and everybody values that differently. And, you know, no opinion's right or wrong. It just is.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the Mario Kart Live thing. How much was that?
I'm in for Mario Kart Live for $100 with 2 carts.
Oh, you got 2 for $100, really?
Yeah. Yeah. Because I got one on GameStop that they marked it down to $59.99 for the whole kit.
Wow.
And then I bought an extra cart on eBay for $40, just the cart.
That's not bad at all.
So I'm in it for the whole thing for 100. We played it yesterday. Yeah. That was actually that in my head. That was the value that I set at it. I actually said that on Nintendo Shack. I was like, I will not get it until I can get 2 carts for $100. Like, that's the highest that I value this experience.
I mean, dollar value is just interesting overall, right? Like you mentioned, you watched Mortal Kombat. How much did it cost you to rent Mortal Kombat?
Free. I didn't pay anything for it. Devin shares his HBO with me, so
I
didn't have to pay a dime for it. I just watched it.
We don't have HBO up here. I was looking on the Xbox store to rent it. It was $25.
To be clear, Sweet Hangs, we can talk about anything. I won't spoil anything. I like the movie. It's got some really cool things. It's got really cool fight scenes. I like its adult nature. It's way gorier than I expected, which is good because that's true to Mortal Kombat. It's just, you know, like if you've watched the old one, it's a far cry from the old one in that regard.
Yeah, I watched that when I was very young.
But I had a lot of issues with it too. I'll just, again, no spoilers. Some of the way that it looks, some of the story, some of the characters either didn't hit for me or didn't do it for me, or I thought was confusing. So
Kano was really good.
Kano was a highlight for me. Yeah, I thought it was a standout. You know, in a lot of ways, it just feels like a cheap B movie. But it, you know, like, it was fun. It was enjoyable.
I mean, what are you going
to
Mortal
Kombat for
high
fun,
cinema?
Entertaining time.
Yeah,
and it still not be like, I wouldn't call it a good movie. It's not a good movie. It's a fun movie, but it's not.
How dare you, Donnie? How dare you? How dare you talk about it like this? People love Mortal Kombat. Didn't you know that? People love. You know what I ended? I was gonna rent it because in my mind I was like, renting movies is like $4.99. You know? But it's brand new. It should have been.
I rent stuff all the time.
Stuff.
Hey, talk about the PlayStation Plus. They're putting that video pass they're trying.
Yeah,
I have for years. I've wanted these Games with Gold PlayStation Plus things to throw in a free movie rental. I don't understand why they're not doing a free movie rental.
That totally makes sense. Yeah,
or a discounted movie rental, like a half-off movie rental. Like, get a coupon every month because you're getting people used to using that store for that thing. They're more apt to buy more stuff later.
Yep.
I've never understood why they just never done it. I don't.
I've been. It feels like an old argument now, but I've been saying that about the games with gold and free games with PlayStation about that for years and years and years. They're motivated to have you or to give you the free games because it gets you buying stores or buying games in the digital stores rather than going to EB.
It walks you through the process.
You're
so used to it. You know how it is. You know how it works. Imagine how many people don't know how it works, how to rent a video.
Well, and everybody was like, why don't they just give it to you? Why do they send you an email saying like, thank you for your purchase? And it's like, because they want, like, it's the whole experience. Yeah. They don't want it to be slightly different for the free games. They don't just give them to you because they're trying to get you in the store. It's the loss leader. It's very simple, actually.
I never understood why they didn't. And because I rent a lot of movies, as you know.
Yeah.
I like to watch a lot of movies. I watch movies, not TV shows. So I'm always doing little rentals and trying to save a buck here and there. And I've always thought it was a miss. I love the Video Pass idea.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It's really cool.
I just love that it's called Video Pass. You've got Game Pass over here, and you got Video Pass on
and then you've got
PlayStation,
Apple Arcade. You've got the Google Game Pass. Like, it's all.
So I was going to watch Mortal Kombat. Got a little sticker shock seeing $25. So I fired up Netflix. I was kind of combing through that, not wanting to watch anything brand new, just kind of like turn off my brain and watch something. And I put on
Tiger King.
I should have.
Yeah, you should have.
I know. Chelsea watched all of that. What I like movies. Like a lot of people like TV. They go to Netflix for TV. I go down to the movies tab, which is like
it's a hot thing right now, right? Like I feel, and I want to be completely like divisive and say it's like a girl thing, but like every woman I know, binges TV. Like that's their thing, man. It's like we play video games. My wife and all of her friends and everybody she goes to church, they binge TV show after TV show. Like, and I don't. It's the same way. Like they look at me and they're like, I don't get it, and I look at them and I'm like, I don't get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it gives you something to talk about with your friends. Like that's really, it's the water cooler kind of experience. I ended up on The Matrix Reloaded, and Donnie, that's gotta be one of the worst movies that's ever been made. Holy shit. Holy crap. What a pile of garbage. What were they thinking?
You'll have to remind me which one that is.
That's the second one, right? So at the end of The Matrix,
that the one with the
spoilers,
twins?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. The dreadlocks and stuff. Yeah.
I didn't even get that far. That's actually a good part of the movie. The twins, when the twins get, that's maybe one of the better parts.
Yeah. The highway scene is dope.
Holy crap, dude. It is so terrible. Agent Smith was killed at the end, or so you thought at the end of the first movie. And then he's multiplying in the next one. This movie is how many years old?
Piss off everybody from the internet.
Sorry. Hey. I know we're just talking about like, let's stay in our lane. Let's talk about things that people.
I've been told many, many, many times about the spoilers. So.
True enough.
I'm learning my behavior.
Wait. Okay, well, we'll test this out. Like, we'll just keep through every show we do, every Sweet Hangs, we should throw out a spoiler of some sort and just go like, too soon? Like, how does this measure?
Yeah,
the spoiler of the week. We needed
a universal accepted amount of time. Yeah. That's the issue with the spoiler thing.
That's true. Yeah, and everybody tries to establish their own. So
and that's why it's never. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, because like I realized same day, like that's not cool. But like a month later, I think a month later is totally fine. No, it's not. You do some spoiler a month after, people get mad.
But also, like the thing that I'm spoiling right now is that the bad guy in The Matrix gets defeated at the end of The Matrix. Like,
how dare you, Sean?
It'd be a little different if I said something
people were watching.
Else.
They didn't know. You
I
threw
guess so.
in the unexpected.
We'll find. What I'm doing is saving people. If you haven't seen The Matrix Reloaded or the third one, holy crap.
Mystery.
It's just heartbreaking because the first Matrix I think holds
Weaving.
up.
He's so damn good in like everything he does.
I don't think he wants to do anything like that anymore. I don't think he wants to do like sci-fi, comic booky type of stuff. He was Red Skull in Captain America. I think that was it.
Elrond?
Final, of course. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's just really, really.
How do you look at somebody and go, "You look like an elf"?
V for Vendetta. Yeah.
Oh, he was good in that. You're right.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, we're starting a movie podcast. Yes. I had that movie on HD DVD, man. I was playing it on my 360, my little tiny 360, a little add-on.
I love that movie.
Spoiler: Neo is the one, or is he?
He's the two.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious, man. Well, I think
so. These new consoles, 6 months.
Yeah. Oh right. Oh shit. Yeah. What were we talking about?
All right. So here's what I say: like the COVID
I bought two of them. I've bought two of them.
Yeah.
You know,
and not even both of them. You've bought two of the same one.
The same one, right? Well, I guess to be fair, I didn't actually buy the series.
I've bought and sold like 5 of them. If it's any.
Yeah. I don't know. Where I land on it is I'm glad I have it. I would be sad if I didn't, but if I didn't and you did, you would tell me don't worry about it all that much.
Yeah, no, that's about it. Yeah, I'm glad I have it. I don't think you need it. I think you will soon.
it really did cause me to spend a lot more money than just
I think this fall is when it will happen. I really do. I think this fall is the moment. It's like, now you need one.
So expectations for E3, I think, are going to be through the roof, because I think everybody's thinking the exact same thing. Like, okay, we bought in, give us something.
We're ready to go.
We're being kind of like, we're patient until we're not. And this is
think about it. What is it? We've got Forza in Mexico.
Dude, tell me that's real. Holy crap, tell me it's real. Oh my God, that is perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect. I'm embarrassed that I wouldn't have thought of if you asked me, like, where's the next one to be? And it's only because that Inception thing, somebody put Japan in our heads. And I was like, let's go to Japan. Let's do that.
Yeah,
that sounds
everybody want to go to Japan.
Never in a million years would have told you Mexico. And now that it's like being mentioned,
Jeff said it wasn't Japan a couple of months ago. And Elaine and I were talking about it. Right. And all we said is we wanted it to be tropical. And we were trying to go Brazil. I think that's where we landed.
Oh, that'd be cool too.
We were like, yeah, Brazil, which is not that far away, but that's what we were thinking. We're thinking beaches, sunshine, jungle, stuff like that. Because what I didn't want, snow. I don't want snow. I don't want Canada. I don't want Europe.
See, I think less about landscape, and I think more about like attitude and some charisma, and so like the music and the vibe. And everything. Like, and Australia was perfect for that. And you're not going to. I'm sorry, you can't. Joey Splats is in the chat. I'm so sorry. You're not going to the UK for vibe. I'm sorry.
No,
you're
and
going to, you are going to Mexico for
with
vibe,
the UK, like London. I wanted it to be more like cityscape, not countryside. Like if we're gonna do London, like let's do London. Let's get all like traffic and stuff. Like let's get, let's do like old, like old cathedral buildings and Big Ben and stuff like that. The fact that it was just like out in some farm the whole time, it really was kind of a bummer. Whereas you're right, dude, Australia was dope, and I think Mexico would be a lot like that.
Yep,
and that sounds great. Who doesn't want to do that?
What are the challenges, the spotlights or the features or whatever they are, like the big races that
if they do like a Day of the Dead event or something?
That's exactly what I was thinking. Day of the Dead. Oh my God. Yes.
Fireworks, stuff like that. Flowers.
Aztec temples. Like I'm telling you, if this is, I've been thinking about this a lot, and at this point, it's just gotta be real. Because if it's Canada, I'll still be disappointed.
If it's
like, if they come out and say, like, if it's Canada,
even if it was like, is there any great way they could do Canada ever?
They could do Canada great. Yeah. I think.
God.
Oh, stop.
Ice Road Truckers, Forza? Like, what are you
Speaking of
about?
vibe, we are ridiculous. You just come on up here. There's a bunch of hosers over here. You run over a bunch of hockey players over here. Yeah, you can ride a moose.
You see meese? Mike?
Meese and geese. Exactly.
So you get Forza, Halo.
Yeah.
Of course, Halo.
It's pretty good.
Big marquee thing. I can't wait to see Halo again. Yeah. I was all for Halo in a way that I've never been before, so I'm excited. And then you throw it to the other side, right? Horizon.
Yep.
That's huge.
Possibly.
You said, yep. Horizon? That's a big deal. I'm very excited to play brand new Horizon.
I'm gonna stay in my. I don't have a PlayStation.
Okay.
I'll play. Well, you can play it on PS4.
You can play it on PS4.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
And then you think of all the third-party stuff that we are expecting to be in the fall. Obviously we have new Call of Duty, right?
Probably
new Battlefield.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, it's funny how the
Back 4 Blood
has Back 4 Blood looks really
Dying
good.
Light 2.
We should have a list of the games that are
Far Cry 6.
Far Cry.
We can keep going. Great. Like we can keep going, and I don't think any of those games I just rattled off are like hard sells for this fall. I think they're all this fall. Like those are probably all this fall. Maybe one slips, but they're probably all this fall.
It'd be interesting if
that's an excellent
Horizon, the original one was like late winter, early spring. Right, like
new sports games. I think Forza could very much be spring 2022. Yeah,
Ryan in the chat with Tales of Arise. That's the only thing we need. It's Scarlet Nexus. We're good.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah. So we do all that after a summer of Mario Golf, and I think this fall.
Ooh, I keep forgetting about Mario Golf. Oh my gosh!
How dare
I don't know.
I think this fall. I think it doesn't matter which side of the fence you're on, PlayStation or Xbox. I think you may have 3 to 6 to
you'll be good.
9 reasons that and it's not like you said, right? You said it's the small things, right? The load times, the HDR, the 120. Right now, we have some of those, but there's not a ton of them. They're not always out. But imagine if we get into a 3 or 4 month window where you have 6, 7, 8, 10 of those, and it's now you need it because now you're missing out. Every week you're missing out on something. Now you need it. That's what we don't have now. You know, like we have examples of it. It's like, here's a game that does something, and here's 4 games that don't. And here's another game that does it, and here's 4 games that don't. It's like, we need to get to the point where we're doing all of the games are friggin' awesome, you know, every single one.
It's just too bad you didn't love Outrider. Like some of us are saying, like I've been good. Outriders I thought was great. I played the mess out of that. MLB The Show,
I don't
big
think
deal.
Outriders is very
Luke
good.
put a bug in my ear this morning. He's like, wouldn't it be amazing if the next game that like if we're talking about like monthly big games are coming to Game Pass, what if the next one was Mass Effect Legendary Edition? Which again, not for Donnie, but for many of us, kind of a big deal.
No, that'd be huge. I don't think it will be, but that'll be huge. I feel like I'd take that bet. I'm almost pretty sure it won't be.
They'd almost have to like, although like they announced MLB
The Show
coming to Game Pass. Well, I was just about to say, but then reflecting back on when did they tell us that MLB The Show is coming to Game Pass? It was pretty close.
About a month out. Yeah, but the difference being is that Mass Effect Legendary Edition, if it was coming to Game Pass day one, then I imagine that they would have already announced that it had an EA Play trial, and they have flat out refused that it's not having it. Well, there's no trial. There's no 10-hour trial for Mass Effect. They even say it on their website. They're like, no trial. You have to buy.
Yeah, they've done it. They've done that for a couple games in the past, and yeah. I mean, that it's just the relationship with EA.
I think it'd be crazy if they were like, oh, you know, no EA trial, but it's coming to Game Pass. Like, what?
That'd be unreal. That would be unbelievable. Where they actually there's a better deal for you if you're on Game Pass and not on EA Play.
Yeah, like it's totally possible. Don't get me wrong. Like, does that chance exist? Totally.
I want it to
happen.
How
likely is that going to happen? Like, I don't know.
Holy crap.
I don't know how likely
that would be massive.
But then if you get to E3 and like, let's say Tunic is there and, you know, there are a couple other indie games are there. Like, yeah, I'm very, very excited because I think from June to January could be a really, really special time. Could make this year a standout in a way that years prior haven't been. If Starfield's out, like, what if Starfield's out? Like, that's probably the big
I don't know
guess.
anything about it. Okay, so I don't want to poop on your parade.
I don't think I'm going to like it.
Nobody knows a damn thing. They know what the
logo Fallout in space.
Maybe.
That's all. It's Mass Effect.
Exactly.
It's Fallout in space. Like, all of you people are super excited. Like, then you should be excited for Starfield. I expect to not be excited for Starfield.
Well, just pump the brakes on Starfield. It's a big deal, of course, because it's Bethesda's next. It's a new IP, blah, 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 blah. But we know zero outside of those points that I've just made.
What if Wolf 3 is dated and it's coming soon?
It's possible.
Dude, get excited. Be excited.
Let's dream. Let's dream next week.
How are your dreams? If you can't tell, I think the next so it's almost May. The next 12 months of video games are going to be stellar.
Yeah.
Like between this E3 and next E3, it's going to be really, really, really good. Because and like I'm 100% sure that COVID is delaying a lot of things out of that window. But here's the problem: we've basically had a lot of things delayed into that window. So that's the thing I keep bringing up about the roadmap, how little we know. But it's like there's not a whole lot of room to keep delaying. Because you're just delaying the inevitable. Like, you've got to start releasing. A wall. Yeah, like you have to start releasing, and that's exactly what I think is happening. I think they're all just being delayed out until consoles sell, until they can go. But we've gotten like half of Ubisoft's entire roster has been delayed into this year. Like, they've got to start releasing games.
Yeah,
they can't make new ones until they release the ones they've been working on. They've got to start
things out.
Yeah, they do.
Eventually, they'll release Cyberpunk too.
Yeah,
so that'll be good.
That'll be another one.
That'll be all right. That's it. That's like, I wish they had just finished it, just so I could play it. But I'm good. I mean, you and I are on different ends of the spectrum on this. Where like I'm good. I was playing The Outer Worlds, as I mentioned. Like I'm digging back through some of my games that I never got to.
And see, that's the thing. I'm doing the same thing, and I do that regularly. So I love that you're doing it. I love that everybody else is doing it. But that's the thing that I keep coming back to. It's like, do you need this console when so many other people are like, I'm playing the game that came out last year? Like,
yeah, but it's it's actually playable. I wouldn't want to play it.
Those statements, though, can't be both. I don't think they can both be true.
I think they can, because
I think one is evidence that you don't need it. Like right now, like it's just evidence of it. It's like, what are you playing right now?
No, because
I'm playing this game that came out in last June.
But it's not the same game. It's not the same experience at all. Like it's to a point now where I will play it on my console. Sure. Where when it came out, I was playing it on my PC because I had totally a more
concede
PC.
That it's better. Don't get me wrong.
But it's better.
You're still playing the thing that's already.
It was available, but I wasn't playing it. It might as well have not been available.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, because I wasn't playing on my Xbox.
How many Xbox folks this week, like on Twitch, I'd love to know the numbers, were like, I'm playing Titanfall 2 because it got boosted. And it's like, I think that's cool, That's awesome that it's doing it. But like, is that is evidence that you need a new console? Is that we're playing Titanfall 2 from 2016? Like, that can't be the evidence. That's not the evidence we're looking for. You're right. Like, it is evidence, but it's not the evidence we want. We want
it is to some people
new evidence.
It is to some people, you know?
Sure. Hey, I replay games. You know that. I replay games all the time. Yeah. So like, this is just normal for me. If anything, I feel in good company. Like everybody is like just playing old stuff. Not everybody is always playing the new thing, you know, all the time. So this is great for me. I'm like, yeah, we're all playing, you know,
and it's
stuff.
the way it should be is kind of the point I keep coming back to is like, we shouldn't have these new consoles and then wonder, are the games even going to work? And if they do, they're going to run the same. That makes zero sense. As somebody who's been playing on PC in the past, it makes no sense that you're playing an old game and it's still got the janky frames and it looks terrible. Like, it actually makes more sense to my brain that we're finally getting, like, you put a game into a more powerful system and it runs better.
That was the whole point of getting off of our power PC and going, you know, the route that we have, like going the new architecture that we have. That was the whole point of that. That's why the backwards compatibility thing has always bothered me, because that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Like, the whole point of getting off PowerPC was to enable that, you know, going x86 to make sure that porting and everything was easier, making it PC-like. That's why we were doing it, because that's how PC works. That's the point. So if you're not going to take advantage of that, then what's the point? Like, what is the point?
That's what I've been saying.
What did I buy? I didn't.
Yeah. Anyway, should probably let my babysitter off the hook.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was fun. Fun hanging out with you. Talk about the movies.
Glad we're back. I'd love to know what people in the chat and people listening, what they want us to chat about as well. And we've got lots to come, man.
Submit topics. Yeah.
Cool, man.
I threw it out for patrons to come join us.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's a good idea.
I love it, dude.
Yep.
All right. This was good.
Cool.
Sweet hangs.
See you, Sean.
Bye, Donnie.
Bye.